The pressure is on as League One Ontario play makes its way through the month of July. Today, Windsor City FC back at their home field to take on Borussia Dortmund's International Academy program from Waterloo, Ontario. My name is Justin Prince, along for today's action here on We Digital as we see how these two squads play things out. The road to 2024 majorly emphasized the pressure and turn building here for Acumen Stadium for teams like Windsor City to get stuff done in the midst of cloudy conditions. Those weather conditions you see right here, 26 degrees Celsius, 30 is how it feels. No chance of rain, around 30% at the best, but the wind gusts reaching as high as 16 kilometers an hour to the north. Here at the stadium, gusts well known to be an impact here at Acumen Stadium. So as things get all set to go, let's get ready to look at your starting lineups for today. BVB IA Waterloo 1-12 this season, looking to try and turn things around to close out the year. Samuel Henriquez, Matthew Mills, the captain next, followed by is Minenda, along with Nicholas Linares. Also in the lineup, Janset Singh, the goalkeeper, Isaiah Cook, along with Badere Imbrizi, along with Engad Painzar. Riding the lineup is Ank Navagora, as well as Marcus Baricello. Your lineup today for the 1-12 Waterloo base squad. Windsor City FC, meanwhile, 4-7-1. They went 1-3 on the road after their last home game a month ago. 14th in standings sees Dante Carrero in the net today. Also in the lineup, Raleigh Draculic, one of the former St. Clair Saints, along with Gianfranco Facineri. Bastian Aguilera, along with Clemens Andreas, along with Andriy Emanov. Also in the lineup, Jose Babone, along with Owen Antonuk, along with Kalian Lobel, and rounding out the lineup is Braden Stevanovic. So look at your lineups today, your officials today. For this matchup, John Morgan Pizzuti, the head referee. First assistant referee is Matthew Hartman, Tanya Candido, and Peril Hajic. Gets things underway here in Windsor. Windsor City FC starting things off, booting it from their goalkeeper up to midfield. Off the bounce, Clemens. Now looking for the attack up the left wing. Already starting on the pressure. The kick through the box and the dive. Cook dives on top of it. It's a team that has dealt with a lot of pressure, Waterloo, mind you. In 3 matchups prior to their most recent, they allowed 8 goals in each of those. As a matter of fact, in the midst of that stretch, 7-52 since their last win in terms of goals for and against. They try and move it forward from the midfield. Up multiple lines, quickly taken away by Windsor City FC. Move forward by Aguilera. Skirted back, Facineri. Quick passing back to Facineri. Kicked out of touch. Just past 1 minute into this first half of play. Keep in mind for Windsor City FC, 1-3 on the road trip as mentioned. The last win against Hamilton United, 2-1, was the score back in mid-June. Batted around down the far side in front of the benches. Trying to keep it alongside, but a tackle and a raised flag, either way, going to be thrown in. Compare that to Waterloo, just the one win earlier this season. That came against St. Catharines Roma and the Wolves. Since then, they've allowed 61 goals, 9-4, 2023. Out of touch, throw in, looking for their first chance. Floated through the box, Carrero jumps up and stops it. The shot coming up from Painzar. Moved up to midfield on the long throw. Kicked ahead, Lobel. To find a run forward, Antonuk. Team's leading scorer. Sets up the far wing. Looking for the cross. The header. Bounced up and bounced back down and kicked away by the captain for Waterloo in Mills. Head back by Facineri. Just past 2 minutes into this first half of play. 0-0 between the 4-7-1 Windsor City FC and 1-12 Borussia Dortmund International Academy Waterloo squad. Just after the throw-in, knocked back out, throw-in back in for Waterloo. have been some bright spots to the campaign, though. 4 of their goals actually going the way of Sakura, who is not in the lineup today. However, Zjanovic also amongst some of their top scorers with 3 this season, 2 for a majority of their players. Very much scattered across the scoreline. Throw in coming Windsor City FC. Antonok. Pop back out. Windsor City FC throw in. Signaled again. Pair the stat lines, Windsor City FC. Antonok so far entering the day with 6 goals this season, 2 in his past 4 matchups. Keep an eye on number 11. Poked around the far side, out of touch, last touched by BVB. Throw in going very far. Owen trying around the corner, not can't get to it. Now floated back to the near side. Intercepted right on back Pabon this time. Taken back by Mills. Mills going back and forth from the passing, intercepted Facineri. Terry avoiding some of the tackles, rolls it to Pabon. Pabon tripped down, and the tackle draws a whistle. The tackle attempt coming from Linares. First free kick opportunity. Here's the replay. And a clear tackle to the leg. Moved ahead by Guerrero. Facineri looking far. This might be close on the offside flag. Not raised. Play continues. Still up the far side. Move now towards the middle grouping. Opening space for Pabon. Near side. Looking. Passing. Back and forth Pabon. Loop back to Facineri. Forced to retreat. Big opening of space up the middle. Floated back to the far side yet again. Looking around and a whistle. And this time the offside flag is raised, about 2 players offside by a bit there. Getting unhappy with us here on We Digital for League One Ontario play. It's the month of July. And the road to 2024 to see who's in the Premier Division and who's in the Championship Division is on. Talk about that as the day progresses. Stefanovic, tight roping, trying to pass it back. Kept just on line in the corner. Taken back away in turn by Henriquez. Loaded back to directions. On the far side, taken back, and here comes the chance. Bonamanov on the rush, the shot, the score! Windsor City FC is on the board. It's 1-0, 5 minutes in. Antonok already pointing directly at the number on the back of his jersey after the shot. Here's why, on the rush. Antonok on the juke, gets it by, and now, as we start the 6th minute of play, 1-0, Windsor City.
Windsor City FC goal scored by number 11, Owen.
Antonok on his 7th goal of the season. Back in action and a trip upon the artificial turf. Linares not able to keep the planted feet there as he slid down off the pass after the reaction to start the play. Back in play, more slipping and sliding. Lobel bounces it off a couple players. Roll back and pick back by Henriquez. Move back to the goalkeeper in Cook. Looking to the other side, Linares. It's time the win, knocks it down, picked back up by Windsor City. Around the midfield, Emanov trying to get a swing at it, picked up instead of midfield. Sprinting around, Linares. Rolled back over, Embrezi. Taken back on the tackle by Emanov. Moves through the box. The pass too strong to Andreas. Rolled back to the near side corner, Breezy. Losing the ball, but it just deflected away. Emanov looking, has space. Rolling it all the way back to regroup, Carrero. Just about 8 minutes into this first half of play, Windsor City FC on the board after goal number 7 of the season. for Owen Antoniuk. Team's leader in scoring this season for the club. As the 8th minute gets itself going on. The pressure building on the rush. Mills looking to lead it forward. So to come on, those on the defensive line. They have now scored that goal as part of the 6th minute of play. Roll it back around and Breezy. Moved around Henriquez. Looking back around, Singh. Taken back on the rush. Behind the foot pass. Setting up in the box for the tee up in the deflection. Out. Corner. Isaiah Cook on the save. He's faced many shots over his more than 900 minutes. That one a sparkler on the pressure. They'll set up for the corner opportunity. First corner kick of the match. Somewhat successful Windsor City FC has been this season in that regard. See some of their defenders trying to communicate. Make sure they are set to go. 3 Windsor City FC players set up outside the box. 4 rush in. On the header. Just rolls over past the woodwork and out of touch. Goal kick. Take a look at the square up. They were trying to use Mills as a secondary option to kick it away in that sequence. Instead doesn't get the touch indeed. Mills, meanwhile, off the bouncing. Roll back the pass, Enriquez. Move back. Defenders look to work it forward now. Breezy. Mills. Pop back. Out of touch. Back to Windsor City. Letting 2 shots for Windsor City FC flying in this matchup for a team that is looking for multiple goal scorers. Outside, and Antonuk Stevanovich's hat trick to start off the season, as well as 2 goals apiece for Facineri Agapito, the only multi-goal scores in 2023 so far. Waterloo looking for their chance to get on the shot board, taken away by Clemens. Stolen right back on the pass, Enriquez. Taken back by Clemens. Passes back and forth, out of touch, and a player is down. It's Enriquez. Samuel Enriquez, the 2000-born player, down. He's one of those with a goal for Waterloo this campaign. This is why. Number 4 on screen. And in turn, that causes the stoppage. And there's a second look to see. Watch there. Around the chin area. Out of the way, they've now given it to the goalkeeper instead for a goal kick after review. Carrero. Spiraling and hooking it left. Trying to get it to Babone. A foot race. Goalkeeper goes out of the crease for a moment. Nowhere to go, though. Kicked along the far side, and a throw-in coming. Their City looking to try and get set back up quickly. On the short throw, Clemens gets the pass back. And kick back out. Throw in again. About 12 minutes into this first half of play. 1-0 Windsor City FC here at League One Ontario play. Kicked about around midfield and out of touch. Waterloo yet again forcing a throw in. It's a scheme utilized multiple times so far by this squad. Team head coach John O'Brien for this program. They started this partnership with the German squad back in 2022, and in turn, each of their games in League One Ontario play under the moniker of Borussia Dortmund International Academy for its Waterloo campus. Several others located in places such as Texas, as well as in other countries. Up the field, Andreas looking to pass by those players. Move back on the pass, taken back away. Pangzar on the steal that time, moved back up by Waterloo, and the shot deflected back. Move Linares. Looking from the tackle. Broken back to the defenders. Rolled away in Breezy. Now spiraling ahead is Mills to the far side. Quick passing towards Mondana. Not able to get there. Bounce back down in front of Baricello. Baricello moves back along to Singh. Back over to Cook. Cook kicks it far. Knocked back down by Clemmings off his teammate and moved back forward. Moved ahead by Stevanovic. Windsor on the numbers. Into the box. And the flag is raised offside. Multiple flags raised for offside so far today as they try and pressurize Cook. Now, the part of this reason, Cook has been the more active of the two goalkeepers this season for Waterloo. 11 matches played, but 43 goals allowed. Compare that to his counterpart, Denver Mills, who has 3 matches, but 18 goals this season conceded. 2023. Lots of goals have flown by months to goalkeepers. Speaking of flying down the field, Waterloo looking to do so. There is the pass, the float, the shot scores! Paintzar ties it up, it's 1-1. So just like that, approaching the 15th minute of play, 1-1. So some fancy passing. Watch the pass as Linares kicks it off, just booted right past 2 Windsor City FC defenders. And from there, nothing that can be done on the screenplay on Carrero. There is the 2004 born player using the versatility to tie things up 1 apiece. Meanwhile, the ball bouncing its way back to Carrero. Under pressure, forced to pass low. Brought to Evanoff. And out of touch. Out of the touch of Stevanovic. Panazar credited with the goal now officially. 15th minute. That's where it gets scored. Down on the rush. Ibagora. Knocked down to the box. No flags raised. Goal kick called. Keep in mind that is a big mark when it comes to the run for Borussia Dortmund's International Academy. Haven't scored a goal in the past few matches. They're just their 8th goal since May the 5th. 16th minute of play, they have the ball in their own end. Unpuck loose. Up the field, it's Pabon to the wing. The shot misses the woodwork and sails to a bus. And Sar again, 15th minute, credited to the goal. It's his first of 2023 on the score sheet. So a lot of time being taken for this goal kick opportunity. Loaded past midfield. Knocked back down over to Emadov. And back to Carrero. Carrero skies it again. Headed up by Waterloo. Bounced over Barcello. Roll back of the pressure. Pabon has a chance. Can't get a squared off shot with the open crease. And not even get it rolled inside the woodwork. Taken back by Borussia Dortmund. Off the slide. Mills. Floats it. Carrero gets in position. Oh, and a little sidestep in trouble, trying to keep it in touch. Goal kick. The frustration building the touch there as that bounces back to Carrero. Now, touching a bit when it comes to the road to 2024. What is that? Well, for those who do not know, a relegation system starting in League One Ontario next season. 75% of the points from last season count, 100% from this season. determine who's in the Premier Division. Waterloo currently out of range to make the Premier Division. Windsor City currently, as the whistles fly, looking to pick up 10.5 points to get up to Woodbridge's 38.75 combined points. So far, Windsor City, 26.5 scored in the past 2 seasons. They lead up the rush. Meanwhile, Pabon, his teammates trips on down, kept alive. Move back towards Stevanovic and stolen away quick. Stevanovic now moves to defense and slides it out. Forces the throw in, breaks up the chance. Here's the replay situation for the far side. You can just see how back and forth things were getting to the point where they were pulling some hairs out. No whistle had been called on that sequence, and play in turn led to the throw in. Meanwhile, Longley booted and out. Throw turns to goal kick. Clemmings walks it, now boots it. Antoniuk looks and sees it kicked out of touch. Another throw in forced. Out of touch. Windsor City FC ball. Back and forth down the far side. Still searching for a little bit of space. Windsor City taken back away. And off and away it goes for the Waterloo base squad. Out of touch. Throw in. All right, see just how the shots are played out just on your screen from the scoreboard here at Acumen Stadium. Currently 4 shots on target for Windsor City, 2 when it comes to their opponents in BVB IA Waterloo. Move back to Clemmings. Looking, able to find his target, Andreas. Drea's long shot over the woodwork. In fact, it hits the backup net instead. Earlier today, some of the junior programs actually holding matchups. Speaking of matchups, you can see later today the Flames Fried Chicken Windsor City FC Man of the Match. Flames Fried Chicken, proud supporter of today's action. Find more information by going to get their chicken at Wyandotte Street East. Some of the best chicken in the city. Back and away, 20th minute. 1-1 still to score. Kicked back and forth over to Mills. Now move back far side, Barcello. Off some deflections to the yellow line. Kicked out and off of Ursakola Ojo. And a Windsor City FC player in the battle sets up a quick throw-in sequence. Looking back far to pressure. Off to Evanov. Carrero. Leaps it far, right to Clemmings. Clemmings, big facilitator today. Bounced off some players all the way to midfield. Still finding its way to Babone. Stevanovic wants it. Has lots of space. Up the right side with the left foot. Stopped. Cook with the save. Stevanovic wanted that ball for a good 10 seconds. Not able to get the right spacing in the end. Speaking of looking for spacing, Facineri looking to take it back away. Move back the other way. 2-on-2 chance in the box. Through the pressure and a trip up, and 2 players converge and dive. This is a live ball, an open crease and a slide to block it. Unbelievable effort from Aguilera to stop the shot. At least 2 players are down. Look at this sequence. This ended up being a live ball. 2 players on top of each other, trying to squeeze on top of it, and then this saves it from being a Waterloo lead. In that sequence, stuck there was, it appears to be Emanov. The shots getting blocked included one from Linares and multiple others. You can see the Waterloo coach asking why the whistle hadn't been thrown with multiple players on top of the ball. Instead, we get a corner kick. From Mills. Headed up. Back out of the box. Bounced on to Antonik. Looking to spin away from Mills. Open space. Facineri moves far ahead. Kicked out instead for a throw-in. Quickly approaching halfway through this first half of play. 1-1, still your score line. Borussia Dortmund's International Academy program from Waterloo still looking for their second win of the season. Out of touch throw-in for Windsor City FC. Speaking of that side, they look to try and see if they can pick up win number 5, depending on how things play out today. Here's the replay of the previous sequence, by the way. See how things were touched there as we go back to live play. Off the throw-in, Stevanovic. Looking back to Lobel. The very few touches for Lobel today so far. Move back to Clemens. Floated back far side. Up for the chance to the box. And knocked on down. Out of touch. Signal is the corner. Toniuk's now setting up for the corner kick. Far side is the signal. Take a look at the previous sequence. This is how tightly contested was there, just bouncing off the side. Barcello. From the far end. Knocked around. Kick back away. Floated back for a second chance. Knocked down. Pabon on the header. Thrown back to midfield. Looking around and whistles blow. And the official calling for a quick free kick. Nibagora trying to find some space on the jetting, and now it's Waterloo kicking ahead. Mills. Looking, passing. Move back to the far near side. Breezy. Taken back away by Pabon. Doniuk. Up on the quick pass. This is Pabon. Move back again. Looking, Stevanovic. Trying to jet around. Move back again, Evadov. Looking for the far shot. No one there to head it down. But kept on the goal line nearly. Instead, goal kick called. Approaching that 26th minute of play on a busy Sunday. Windsor City FC, lots of pressure, starting to build it. Stevanovic. Moved by Lobel. Outside the box, stopped. Kept alive though after the stop by Cook. On the shot, Antoniuk off the back of the captain for Waterloo and setting up the goal kick. Very quick sequence setting things up, all starting off the deflection off Cook. Took a lot of passing, even set up the first chance, let alone the second for Antoniuk. Watch that effort. He had to come by 10 yards. By the way, plenty of fans in attendance today at a very sunny day, one of the brightest and sunniest of days this season. A very umbrella-heavy affair here at Acumen Stadium. Off the corner. The header misses. Out of touch. Seven shots so far for Windsor City FC. Just the 2 for Waterloo. They've not had a shot on target the past 15, 20 minutes, nearly. Win counts also have gone down to a minimum. This had been the case prior to the first 30 minutes or so of warm-up. Knocked down by Lobel, meanwhile, after the goal kick. Kicked out of touch. Knocked out by Henriquez. Throw-in coming from Clemens. Went far with it. Spinning, tight roping. Pabon. Just getting the side of the ball there on the pass, setting up the chance for Waterloo. Move back and kick back. Broken up by Windsor City. Chased all the way nearly to the goalkeeper, this time by Draculic. The drop by Aguilera, now picked up by Lobel. Facineri electing not to touch the ball, lets Clemmings take it instead. Now Facineri gets it. Facineri, a long pass. Stevanovic, open space. Looking to pass, now has the open crease and misses it. Stevanovic cannot hit the target from 10 yards out. Just missing the woodwork some way, somehow. We're still tied at 1 on Windsor City's best chance of the day. Keep in mind, Stevanovic has not scored a goal since having a hat trick against St. Catherine's Roma at the start of the season. 29th minute here on We Did It All. Justin Prince with you. League One Ontario play. Still tied at 1. Knocked out of touch. Windsor City throw in. Clemmings. Extremely active in terms of setting up chances today. Lots of floats through the traffic. Down the far side. Will this set up a cross? Looking instead, short play. Looking for the deflection. And he scores. And hold on. This might be taken back here. No celebration. And it looks like they now confirm it is a goal. Antonuk. There was hesitation there with the official from the back line and a couple players looking to see if there was an offside call. Instead, continuation and the goal. 2-1. And a card, I think, was also issued. That might have been the hesitation. Head referee John Morgan Pizzuti just putting away the card book. And we're back underway.
FC goal scored by number 11, Owen Antoniuk, his second.
Antoniuk's second goal of the matchup, his 8th of the season. Credited to the 30th minute of play. 2-1 is confirmed. Booted up. Move back and move forward. Antoniuk. Still Lobel. Stevanovic yet again is open. This time, keeping it. Going short. Misses again. And the goal kick signaled. Stevanovic, his second shot in 4 minutes. Misses the target. This time, right foot. Misses the woodwork by about a foot. So now play continues. Goalkeeper able to pass it away. Antoniuk, 2 goals in the span of 30 minutes today. Already up a quarter of his total entering the day. And that's now 4 goals in the past 5 matchups for Antoniuk. Back inside Waterloo territory still. Looking away, trying to scoot away. Sekola Oju. Taken back by Windsor City. Pabon. Antoniuk broken up by Mills on the pass. Looking back for a cross. Stevanovic chases it back down outside the box. Antoniuk now moves his way out of the box as well. Pabon watches Aguilera pass it over to Clemmings. Back along far side. On the skirt ahead, knocked down. And a corner is coming again. That's seen this time on the knockdown. All right, some of the substitutions warming up as Antoniuk sets up for the corner chance. Windsor City FC, mind you, on the stat sheet, if they were to pick up points today, a chance to get up to Hamilton United's tally, depending on how things play out, just a half game back during the day. On the cross, skied up in the air, trying to clear it away. No one gets ahead on the first chance. The second bounces off some shoulders. Facineri gets it on the third chance, trying to kick it, another goal kick. Setting up the corner, in fact. That ball surprisingly was shanked so high that it passed the light poles in the stadium. Facineri not able to get a clear line, setting up the corner chance now. Toniuk again, near side. From the side. Headed away in the midst of traffic. Only one player there to pick it up, though. There is the only open one. It's rolled along. Madonna knocked back down just past midfield. Headed around by Lobel. Facineri kicks it to nobody. Taken back by Waterloo. 34th minute of play. 2-1 the scoreline. Windsor City FC on top early. Taken around by Linares. Moved back around the logo. Walked up and passed. Now it's Wendana. Off the wing. To Gagora. Gagora, the cross off the chest of a Windsor City FC defender and away. Bounced over to Babone. Deflected around. Toniuk watches as it's picked back up again by Imandana and tackled down for the whistle. Free kick. And more whistles blow. Things get checked with the goalkeeper before play continues. Here's the reason for the free kick call. And Carrero checking things there after that sequence. Mills to take this. Looks like he's going for the float for the header. Instead, Windsor City FC heads it out of the box. Out of touch. As Aguilera says hello to a fence. Despite all the pressure Waterloo's been trying to produce in the past 20 minutes, they have not had a shot since their one goal earlier on today. Taken back away. Now floated back to the box. Carrero, easy catch. Looking to throw. Looks to roll instead to Clemmings. Off a couple hops. Facineri. Stops. Moves to Clemmings. Clemmings trying to sprint it back. Forced back to Facineri. Now has to change sides. Electing to go very far and very offside. Stevanovic backs off of it. Cook. Kicks it to Mills. Slide tackle to keep possession for Waterloo. Now taken instead away by Aguilera. Moved up for another foot race. Up on the chance. It's Andreas over the woodwork. And another one sails over top. In the 37th minute now. Shots continue to fly if you are Windsor City FC's offense, by the way. 9 shots now on target. 3 now to the credit of BVB. Lobel. Trying to get a knockdown, doesn't. Now has to jump back and forth on a tackle attempt. Lobel with some ninja moves. Stevanovic on the pass. Toniuk tackled away on the attack and kicked aside. Let's take a look at this. How often do you basically have to use a little bit of acrobatics, maybe a little bit of footwork, and then some like this? Clean tackle was the call on the sequence, and now a substitution. Possibly. Yes. Waterloo at least making one. Several now taking the chance at a water break. So as the players get the breather, let's take a look at the stat sheet recently for Borussia Dortmund. As mentioned, losing every game since May. 8-0, 3-0, 8-1, 3-0 amongst those official stat lines. As of late, there was an additional score line of 6-0 at one point as well in that mixture. All while they prepare to play Unionville Milliken next at 9 p.m. in a few days' time on a Saturday. The last place team in the table, mind you, with a grand total of 1 point this season. Stoic after a chance for a timeout at least, and some water. Clock is still rolling for now. We'll see how much added time gets put on. Waterloo still looking to make a substitution. Still not determined who is in, who is out fully. At least one player has moved to the side. And now whistles blow to get play back underway. The change has not come in yet. Aguilera. Now move back to Cummings after that pass. Facineri. Move back again. Amanov, near side. Working back to his left. Working with Lobel. Kick back, Draculic. Facineri. Cummings. Cummings move back forward. Andreas. Passed into a sandwich. And kick back to Facineri. Using the bicycle kick to knock it down. Move back to Carrero. Given back to Draculic. Lobel. Stefanovic. Draculic. Floated back to Cummings. Up on the far side, Andreas again. Through a double. Pop through the box. And signal is off of Andreas for a goal kick. Coming up to the 41st minute of play. 2-1 still your score line. 2 goals for Antoniuk today. 1 goal to the credit for Waterloo going to Painzar. Move back ahead by Borussia Dortmund. Floated to the sky and knocked back down by air. Quick throw in. Instead taking a long throw in. Breezy switching in. Going to Mills. Mills quickly taken by Pabon. 1-on-1, rounding the corner. Stefanovic avoiding the trip up. Stefanovic quick. Antoniuk looking for the hat trick with the left foot scores. There's the hat trick for Antoniuk. It's 3-1 for Windsor City FC. Let's take a look at this. Just inside the box, right on by the goalkeeper, and into the net. Just like that. How about that to go up by about a third of your goal total in the span of 42 minutes?
FC goal scored by number 11. His third of the game. On a 42nd minute.
Very much contender for match player of the game with how things are going for Antoniuk. Mills, meanwhile, trying to set up a response for him and his team. Looking around, and Madonna can't keep it. Another chance up the near side. This time it's Pabon on the forward ahead. Moved around Aguilera. Floated other side. Searching around. Now searching over to Stefanovic again. Backs off of it, just on the outside of the offside flag. Battle in Mandana. Rising. Mills. For the midfield pressure. Knocked down and taken. Lobel. Lobel moved aside to Lobel again. Doniuk sees it go to Clemens. Now Aguilera.
Once again, a reminder to be sure to stop in the concession window.
Moved up Lobel. Dreas, Lobel. Back and forth. Approaching the 44th minute. Andreas. Looking, passing, avoiding the tackle. The shot gets blocked. Kicked back after bouncing off 4 players and back the other way for an offside flag. Where was the offsides? Well, it's after this deflection, having to regroup. Cook. Boots it to midfield. Stefanovic again. Stefanovic to Facineri. Facineri faking right, going left. Andreas. Clemens. Back to Aguilera. Kick back aside over to Amadov. Working to the other side now. Kick by Drakulik. Clemens. Clemens electing to move forward. Clean tackle, taken back. Coming up to the midway point. Facineri, clean tackle back. Floated towards Pabon. Forced to give it back to Facineri. Facineri very forward. Quick pass, Pabon, and offsides again. Some fans starting to make their way to concessions with 1 minute of added time for this first half of play signaled. Playing to the 46th minute on your screen. Carrero. Walks it. Moves to Facineri. 30 seconds to play with. Clemens. Wobbles it back over to Facineri. Sprinted. Now juking. Move now. Walk ahead. Pabon. Stefanovic again cradling the offside flag. Play continues. Juking right. Cross. The box again. No one there to pick up the cross on the bounce. That may just about do it for this half of play. There's the whistle. At the break. 3-1 Windsor City FC, the scoreline. A hat trick for Owen Antoniuk. The main offensive power. Windsor City FC up after 45 minutes. You're watching We Digital for coverage of League One Ontario play from Acumen Stadium.
For every big breath, for every little breath, and for every breath in between, Ontario Power Generation is committed to keeping Ontario's air clean. That's why the power we generate is 99% free of smog and carbon emissions. Because clean air matters to us all.
Hi, I'm Jeff from Monson Time Express. The world is in an unprecedented battle these days. We all have to come together to beat this horrible virus. Monson Time Express encourages everyone to stay safe and listen to the experts leading us through these challenging times. A new normal is going to have to be considered in our everyday lives. The team at Monson Time Express understands that you and your loved ones are still trying to go forward each and every day. Monson Time Express is here to help and remains open to take care of all of your delivery needs. With a fleet of 50 vehicles, including cargo vans and sprinter vans, along with 24-foot straight trucks, it doesn't matter if your freight is big or small. Monson Time Express can guarantee the safe and prompt delivery service throughout Canada and the United States. Monson Time Express is open 24 hours a day, 364 days of the year. To get your delivery moving, contact Monson Time Express at www.monsontime.ca or call toll-free at 877-250-8282. From the Monson Time Express family to yours, stay safe and stay healthy.
When it comes to vaping, the truth can get clouded.
So let's make it clear. Vaping is not safe for youth.
Because vaping can put microscopic particles into your lungs.
And dangerous things like metals into your body.
And nicotine, which can harm a person's brain development through their mid-20s.
With appealing flavors, high nicotine levels, and lots of promotion on social media,
many kids think vaping is harmless, but it's not.
So talk to your kids about the risks of vaping.
Because when you talk, they hear you.
What can milk do? Well, it can turn you into a morning person. It can help fuel some pretty tough stuff. And it can definitely make cartoons funnier.
No, it can't.
Oh, well, it can have a little edge. But come on, even kiddies love it. It'll keep up with you at any age. It makes engines whir and creme brulee creamy. It's one of the easiest labels you'll ever read. And anything that makes this happen is pretty special. In fact, what can't milk do?
Welcome back, everyone, to Windsor, Ontario for more coverage of League One Ontario play. Justin Prince with you as Windsor City FC looks to control the tempo. 3-1 the score after a hat trick scored by Antoniuk. 3 goals in 42 minutes for the team's leading scorer today. In turn, though, the Waterloo-based squad looking to break through after breaking through for 1 goal earlier in the match, that being back in the 15th minute. 1 shot in the course of 35 minutes after that score from Painzar. Both teams just getting situated and ready to get back underway. And as seen just prior to coming back to the action, North Toronto Nitros coming into town a week's time, by the way. They're one of the teams that Windsor needs to pick up points on to be able to close out for the road to 2024. The Nitros, for reference, 3rd in that table with 59 points combined with that metric, including last season, but also one of the top 6 teams in the table. That in about a week's time. As part of a busy stretch of July for Windsor City FC. Talk more about that in a little bit as we get ready to get back underway. Waterloo will start off with the ball. Windsor City FC so far 11 shots on target, 3 for the Borussia Dortmund affiliated squad. All players positioned, waiting for the symbols to be sent. We have 1 substitution made of note. Appears there has been at least 1 change signaled for. Denver Mills signaled in for the net, it appears here. Back it away. Batineri. Knocked out of touch. Can confirm it is Denver Mills who is now in net for Borussia Dortmund International Academy Waterloo. As mentioned for Mills, 18 goals allowed earlier in the campaign in his 3 matches appeared in entering the day. Waterloo, it had been an uphill battle entering this month, mind you. In their past 6 matchups, they've allowed 5.6 goals per game. That includes 3 times allowing 8 goals, 1 including 6. Andreas looking to add in some more. Lobel. Knocked down. Mixed back up. Enriquez passed back quickly. Matthew Mills. Matthew Mills rolled back along. Back to Matthew. Looking far up the far side. Taken forward. Kicked ahead. Linares. Sprinting ahead for the juke. Taken back away. This time on the take, Windsor City's Drakulik. Kulik elects to kick it away after the pass. Popped back in the air by Waterloo. Lots of battling along that far side, out of touch finally. Windsor City FC getting the throw in after the battle. Move back over to Facineri. Facineri walking it to midfield. Antoniuk. Working to Cummings. Antoniuk. Slow pass, Facineri, Cummings. Back and forth, over to Cummings again. Andreas, working to Pabon. The bounce, the quick shot scores! No flags raised. Pabon makes it 4-1 Windsor City FC. And a player is down, and this is Denver Mills. Denver Mills on his first major shot attempt faced. Moving his way back to the goal crease. Here's a look off the Andreas assist. Right there is why he's down. Contact to the stomach off the foot. No signal for a change. It looks like Denver Mills looking to regroup, and the official will check one more time. Here's another look. Full speed. So not a very good area in terms of comfortability on the contact there. However, goal number 4 for Windsor City FC going the credit of Jose Babone. We're back underway. Denver Mills already regrouped. Off some bounces. Deflecting head Aguilera to Clemmings. Clemmings, Andreas, Aguilera, the captain. Move back and forth. Aguilera. Over from Lobel, now sprinted ahead. Draculic finding the far wing. Looking for a chance. Antoniuk, quick bounce, quick moves. A trip up by the goalkeeper. No shots go off. Andreas picks it up, puts up a shot, bounces off the deflection, and away it goes. Approaching the 15th minute of play here on League One Ontario play on We Digital. 4-1 Windsor City FC. Moved ahead. On the slide ahead. Back to Antoniuk off another bounce. Off of Denver Mills for the second chance, scores. Antoniuk with goal number 4 today. It's 5-1 Windsor. Off the continuation, able to get it by a sprawling Denver Mills. Antoniuk has nearly doubled his goal total today. Entering the day. He's gone from 6 on the season to 11 in the span of 52 minutes, nearly. The young fans continuing to watch along from the sideline. Some of those players taking part in the junior action as talked about before today's game. Some of their parents like them to keep an eye on the action. Others, part of those, were supporting the action from the sideline. Several team members from the Under-9 Essex soccer travel team in attendance of today's game as well. They've had a lot to cheer for with 2 goals to start off the second half of play. Andreas. Pass back along now to Clemmings. Having to retreat back past midfield. Clemmings. Back again, Antoniuk. Over far and knocked around. Here we turn back over, but instead walked over to the near sideline, all the way from the far side of the box. Kicked away out of the pressure. Breezy. Taken by Clemmings. Poked around over to Aguilera. Another rush. Taken. And they elect to just kick into the grandstand to get a throw-in instead of a corner. Flag race far side, substitutions coming in. Del Serene Eldon being signaled to come into the match, this time for Sakoa Ojo. So the first substitution for Waterloo today being made in live play. The air substitution at the start of the second half. An air substitution also being signaled for Purdue Ozzy coming in. That is for Ngan Hainsar, the player who scored the 1 goal for Waterloo today. Speaking of scoring, 4 goals for Antoniuk. Pabon picking up the goal in the 48th minute. For Pabon's case, it was his second of the season and 9 matches now. After the subs, Clemmings off the throw-in and the pass back. Watch Andreas give it to Antoniuk. Work back by Lobel. And all the way back to Carrero. Carrero thinking of booting, does it. Outside of the box. Headed back by Waterloo. Ozzy. Move back from near midfield. Walking around, Baricello. Picked around by Matthew Mills. Floated back up to Eldon. Eldon, and a quick whistle down. Facineri in the vicinity at the top of the whistle. The player is down. Facineri discussing things with the officials. Currently getting the perspective there. Let's get the video perspective. Contact towards the head, and already Eldon back up. But that allows the chance for the closest free kick of the day today. On the corner, now rolling to it rather. Free kick doesn't work out. Move back to midfield. And kicked up towards the stands. Back along far side. Moved up quickly by Windsor City. 3 Windsor City strikers on the attack. Picked up by Denver Mills. He throws it into the turf and away. Eldon. Lots of room to run. Work back. Through the pressure, Eldon again, the pass back and intercept instead to him. Moved around by Jakulik and back along the side, Jakulik. Watches Lobel get to work. Work from the midfield. Floated towards Facineri. Having options, he chooses Andreas far. Andreas juking right. Passing with his left foot, taken back away. Andreas can't get the tackle back. Trying to still chase after Andreas on 3 different chase downs. Sees the 4th chase down lead to some pressure. Now worked around by Stefanovic and company. On the attack, Denver Mills dives on it. Denver with the roll away. 55th minute of play. 5-1 your score line here in Windsor. One of the highest score lines of the season. The last time Windsor City FC scored 6 goals, mind you, their win earlier this season against St. Catharines Roma. Kicked away after the pressure. Stefanovic move back over near the goal line for the floater to Clemens. Clemens having to sprint around. Kept on the turf, Andreas. Works right up the middle of the field from the timeline. Worked back again, Aguilera. Left foot kick. Back again, Clemens. Antoniuk. Clemens. Aguilera. Facineri. Worked again, Carrero to Facineri. Bounced about, Pabon. Clemens. Facineri. Quickly knocked back and forth. Kept on the ground, short passing. Clemens forced to run around Antoniuk. Off a couple deflections. This picks the tempo up. Aguilera back along to the far sideline. Walked back again, back to Aguilera. Trakilik gets the pass back and forth again. Float over Lobel. Chased over to Andreas, back to Clemens. The keep away continues. This has now been going on, this possession, for about 2 minutes. Lobel. Skirting away. Quickly moved by Aguilar to Facineri. Facineri walked up now to Antoniuk. The setup taking its time for Facineri. Out of the range of the pass, but a whistle is down and the yellow card is up. And a red card has been issued. Der Olsay has been issued a red card quickly. just outside the box. And Borussia Dortmund and its International Academy for Waterloo is down to 10 men for the final 30-plus minutes. So the yellow card came out very quick in that sequence. And now Waterloo with some added pressure. Here is another look. And watch this just after this touch here. That does make contact with the body on the leap. And the day is done for one of the substitutions just 10 minutes ago for Osei. Free kick from short distance. Antoniuk puts it up and misses the woodwork.
Red card has been issued to number 17 of Waterloo, via Osei. Now coming in the 59th minute.
So back underway after the goal kick and after the free. Coming after the first red card for Osei today, scored by the Waterloo side. Back up to Carrero. Antoniuk off the bounce. And a move far, keeps it onside. Andreas open and offsides whistled. So many times Windsor City FC has just avoided offsides on that type of play today. Not there, says the referee. Back to play. Worked up. Bugora trying to communicate forward as it's floated up to the captain, Matthew Mills. The shot from far out scores! Matthew Mills puts it in the back of the net. The captain makes it 5-2. It's his second goal of the year. And just when they need a spark, Mills puts it in. That coming on just the fourth shot today from the International Academy squad. And Windsor City FC already on the attack. Andreas knocked around, waiting for the signal. It looks like Windsor City FC throw in. A 3-goal lead still now for Windsor City FC on the boards. Antoniuk. Move back to Clemens. Kicked about. Moved up far on the floor. Antoniuk trying to get an opportunity. Knocked down quickly. Denver Mills. Once again, 5-2 the score line now in the 61st minute, coming up to the 62nd. Moved along the far side. On the attack, Matthew Mills. Looking around after the double. Sprints into traffic. Looking for the cross. Miscommunication. Eldon did not jump for the cross attempt. It rolls out of touch. Here's a look. See the idea from Mills right there. But you see the size difference between Eldon and Clemens. Possibly a factor there. Miscommunication for that header. Meanwhile, the young fans having fun. Many more still keeping their umbrellas in check with the sunshine. Several fans still making their way to the grandstands from the concourse in the 62nd minute. A very offensive-heavy matchup. How about 15 Windsor City shots? They have not really had that many shots in a matchup since early this season. Antoniuk looking to set up another. Off the back pass. Open space, and he walks it directly out of touch. Signal, corner, going for the goal kick.
We all make choices about alcohol.
Taking a look, you can see some of the positioning in terms of the framing. The idea was there. Just the pressure around the corner and the goalkeeper influencing the mistake. Andreas trying to make them pay on another mistake and a turnover. Andreas stays onside barely. Walks by one, shoots it off a second. Picked back up by Waterloo. Matthew Mills. Taken by Eldon. Now they sprint ahead. They tried to do this early. Linares is in a tackle. Whistle, free kick. Here's the sequence. And Aguilera, not so much a tackle as of a stiff arm attempt. Now Clemmings trying to take it away, using his right foot as a yo-yo, picks it up with the left. Walked ahead, Andreas. Tony Young now finding Lobel. Move back to Kulik. Antoniuk. Moving ahead far side, back to Antoniuk. All the way from left to right on their side of the pitch. Facineri. Lobel. No one wanting the ball, and now Facineri says, let's keep it. Now Facineri gets it back from Clemmings this time. Aguilera. Kicked ahead and just out of the range of a bone, and off it goes to Denver Mills. Quickly thrown back the other side. Coming up to minute 65 in this match. Matthew Mills a few minutes ago picking up his second goal this season, that being in the 61st minute. That trimming the gap to 3 for Borussia Dortmund's International Academy squad. Meanwhile, Windsor City FC on the rush. Looking, Andreas, shot, post and scoring. Andreas has tried so long, so many times today, to set up a shot to the back of the net, and this time it does for his credit. 6-2, the scoreline on this. Open space, open goal. And now at the gap up to 4. Andreas, by the way, his first goal of 2023 in more than 500 minutes of play. Back rolling. Matthew Mills. Poked, taken, ripped back, tripped back, whistles blow. Quickly, free kick taken back and kicked out of touch. Throw in for Waterloo. This may go down as one of the highest shot totals from Windsor City all season. For those keeping track at home, 16 shots now at the target, 10 saves from the goalkeepers combined for Waterloo. 4 shots, 2 saves on the onset. Quick substitution back. And now, for the first time today, into the matchup. That's number 33, Sawyer Bowingdon, into the match. One of the 4 players on that bench today. They've gone back and forth now. 3 of the 4, in fact, all 4, you can say, who are reserves today are in. Except for Emmanuel Onwuki. That's the only player not subbed in out of the 4. After the quick sequence, throw in now for Windsor. On the kick back, Matthew Mills stealing it. Lane kicking out. That gives him a chance to reset yet again quickly, trying to set up a throw, now bouncing back around the outside. So quick, they're trying to get these sequences down, knowing how big this deficit is. Worked ahead and kicked away, Andreas. Loaded back, Aguilera. Back again, it's Andreas. Here we go again. Andreas, shot off Denver Mills. Bicycle kicked away. Oh, and hard contact. Run to the edge of the box from Bovington. And immediately, Antoniuk being checked on by his teammates and the official. Bovington now getting discussions down with the official. 4 goals today for Owen Antoniuk. Watch after this from right frame. It's just out of touch there of the camera frame. But in that sequence, here Bovington going for the ball with Antoniuk. Significant contact, and now we'll set up a free kick here. No change. And now a chance to extend the gap to 5. 5 players on the wall, and over top the woodwork and the wall it goes. Again, We Digital, glad to have you with us for today's action. 6-2 your score line, currently here at We Digital for League One Ontario play. Windsor City FC looking to break a 3-match losing streak. If things hold on today, free kick called again. But again, important to pick up as many wins as possible because the goal mark, get to Woodbridge. -7 on the point differential coming into today for 2023 points. About 8 points back combined for the road to 2024 point tallies. With very minimal times left on their home pitch. Windsor City needing to work. Free kick, far ahead, Carrero gets it. Good day for Carrero, 26 goals allowed entering the day in his 11 previous matches. Now that more than 1,000 minutes played, only 1 match he hasn't started for Windsor City. That was with Anthony Santilli, who allowed 2 goals in 90 minutes a few weeks ago. Out it goes, throw in. Looking for the stutter step. Taken back after the throw. Barrichello. Looking, passing, missing the foot of Matthew Mills. Quickly Eldon. Opening up a lane. This is Ugara over the net and out of touch. Goal kick. Now signaled goal to corner. Let's see why. Was there a piece? Yes, Carrero just with the tiniest of taps. The corner, the header. The almost setting up goal kick, staying along the line to kick it away. Stefanovic. Move back wing side. Now to Lobel. Back along Aguilera. Bettineri. Andreas. Bettineri. Lobel. The walk up far side. Dream back again to Drakulik. Evanov on that walk back. Aguilera. Back again, Drakulik. Evanov. Lobel. Surrounded and getting it away from being surrounded. Move back to Veterinary after all that pressure. Clemmings. Walked along midfield. Antoniuk. Kick back. Taken back. Clemmings. Antoniuk. Clemmings again. Worked back. Evanov to Faccineri. In the 73rd minute of play, 6-2, Windsor City FC the scoreline. Aguilera Now look to back along far side. Emanov roll back midfield. Clemmings. Back over now to Andreas. Size mismatch. Pass over past. Instead getting to Antoniuk off the deflection. Pabon. Giving back to Antoniuk. Windsor City FC taking their time to think about chances. If they want to grow this gap at least. For the aggregate. And the score lines this season. Walked up. Emanov. Back to Lobel. And now it starts to play a game of keep away. Clemmings. Veterinary. Clemmings yet again. With no one around for 10 yards. Over to Antoniuk. Back to Clemmings. Now with pressure within 5 yards. Veterinary. Now Carrero gets involved in all this. Coming up to the final 15 minutes or so in this match. Windsor City FC taking a very conservative tempo with a 4-goal lead on their home pitch. Carrero. Now taken away. Off to the bounce around. Worked around. This is Enriquez. Move back to Baricello. Back to Eldon. Enriquez. Walking, stepping back, spinning back, and passing to the edge of the line. Looking for a cross. Gabora not able to get to the woodwork or towards the line. Out of touch, goal kick. One of their best chances in the past 15 minutes after so much keep away.
Reminder, soccer fans, Windsor
Andreas.
City will be back here again next Sunday, July 16th. Take on the North Toronto Nitros. Anytime we have.
Moved on by Clemmings.
Join us for that match.
Aguilera. Drikulik. Worked ahead. Lobel. Back up the walk. Emanov finding Lobel. Back along Drekulik. Fontaneri. Slowly roll to Clemmings. This point just pulling the string a bit. Clemmings again. Andreas. He elects to try and break through all the string. Inside the box, Andreas. Quick shot, misses. Was there a touch though? Signal is no, goal kick. Andreas really wanted his second of the season there. Doesn't get it. Play back in motion. Windsor City FC with a quick steal back. Clemmings. Up again, Andreas. Andreas trying to run ahead through two players, picked back up by a third. Eldon. Walked around the midpoint. On the pass ahead, some miscommunication signaled off of Mandata trying to pass it instead, rolling away. Looked like intended for Bovingdon. So Windsor City FC taking a bit of their time here in these final 13 minutes or so with that 4.4 goal advantage here in today's tilt. Or I can say this, very likely your Flames man of the match. Antoniuk with 4 goals, what can you say? You have such a stat line. Looking ahead, knocked out. Goal kick. Up to the 70th minute nearly. Eldon. Working. Up to Matthew Mills. Up the left wing. Mandata. Again knocked down on the kick. Sprinted side and out of touch. Quickly, throw in signaled. Windsor City. Here's why. Originally one near whistle for a tackle. The second, right there, is where they signal for the ball. It'll be Windsor City still. Back the air direction to Cummings. Cummings. Batineri. Back along the far side. Trikulik in this likely very offside. Instead, just letting it roll for a goal kick. $11 minutes to go in regular time. What about? Up on the pass ahead. On the roll bout. Gora and multiple whistles start getting flying. Free kick call just outside the box by a foot. Let's take a look why. Look to pass it. Instead, Lobel rides on the tushy, and they'll set up for the free. Take a little bit of time to gather up before they take this chance, all while others hunt for the shade. One of the hottest days of the year so far, if you're a Windsorite, by the way, with those temperatures feeling like 24. It's gotten a little bit higher than that now. Lengthy discussions, as it looks like it's because of substitutions, multiple in fact, from Windsor City. Now been signaled for and completed as they start getting things prepared. These final 10 minutes to close it out. Bad free kick. Windsor City FC breaks it up. Matthew Mills taken up by one of the substitutions from that stoppage. Marcos Borgora. Rolga, rather. One of the oldest players on the squad now in. Antoniuk. And another yellow card. Give it to Henriquez. Remember, Waterloo already down to 10 men from a quick yellow card, red card sequence earlier. See why with the size difference. It's the second hard bit of contact on Antoniuk today since the last goal. Clemens and Antoniuk. Roll back to Clemens after the pass from Facineri. Up to Babone. Now it's Stevanovic. Stevanovic. Babone. Forwards the pull. Trying to cross it. Knocked out. Corner signaled for. Off the side of Bercello. Small hobble there. Remember to stay tuned after the completion of today's matchup as we award our Flames Player of the Match. That going to the best Windsor City FC player. I can say in terms of the scoreline at least, Antoniuk, your best candidate. The majority of the goals towards his way today. 4 of the 6, in fact. Meanwhile, Kulik can't get the tackle back. Moved up by Waterloo. And out of range on the pass, back instead to Denver Mills. Quickly taken back away. On the rush from the corner. The roll through. Kicked away from the box and a throw-in signaled. Here's a look at the schedule of other matchups today. Sigma FC Alliance United starting off at 4:30, but just moments ago, teams like Burlington and London getting started. A big one for London in regards to that table, as mentioned. You also say the same for Simcoe County and Vaughan Azuri. at 6:30 p.m. Woodbridge, as mentioned, huge for Windsor City FC to keep up, if not close in on them. They take on St. Catharines Roma tonight at 7. Those are your League One Ontario matchups. Across the league, oh wow, Stevanovic again misses the back of the net. How many times can you come so close to put in a goal? You add up the misses today, it's about 10 feet total from 4 or 5 shots within the post. However, it looks like corner being set up for Antoniuk. That was the last touch off of Waterloo. Antoniuk gets a header, and this time missing. Pabon, the header. In terms of the goals for and against, by the way, for those curious, this does trim that gap in half. Windsor had a -7 goal differential coming into today. That goes to -3 if things stand the way they are. Up the field goes Waterloo and taken quickly away. Aguilera. Oh, and 2 players go down, and it looks like Windsor City ball. Call coming over from Bazzuti. Here's a look at the previous sequence. See how tightly compressed the header was. More so off the back of the neck than the head. And then, this is the reason for the free. Aguilera pass. And then let's go to the turf. Back and forward. Up on the far pass. Waved off on the attack. Possible offside sequence there. Denver Mills. Board up for Bercello. Work forward, Henriquez. Bercello. Lobbing forward and taken forward to the other direction, rather. Facineri. Now kicked ahead to the far side. Lobel. Trying to work with Facineri instead. Knocked away. Windsor ball. Four minutes to go in regular time. Looks like we may get a change here, or at least a water bottle break. Remember, North Toronto Nitros next in town, 4 p.m. Eastern. Can catch that here on We Digital, July the 16th. An important one in terms of the long-term play for the table for Windsor City, mind you. North Toronto currently in a very tightly contested top 6 or 7. The answer tonight tied with Vaughan Azzurri. In fact, on points with 26 this season. 7 back at the top of the table. Blue Devils and Scrosopi. Moved over meanwhile. Facineri in live play to Clemmings. Walked ahead, Stevanovic. Now Pabon. Floating, crossing. Quick recovery, Denver Mills. Quickly batted away by the teammates. Eldon kicks it towards midfield. Now pass back along the field, rush. Bovingdon. And out. Windsor City FC throw-in. Lots of shots flying today. Now a combined total between these two teams of 24 shots. One of the higher totals at this pitch this season. Down to the final 2 minutes of play in regular time. Already, the officials checking to see if there's any added time. Stevanovic seeing if this is the time he finds the back of the net. He passes it along to the other end. That time on the touch from Dylan Sato. Sato, interesting enough, has worn so many different numbers, literally. At least third or fourth this season for Sato. It's white headband, part of the subs from earlier. Clemens. Kicked around Agapito. Rather, Aguilera. And this time kicked forward and out. For Borussia Dortmund's International Academy squad for Waterloo, unless they manage to score 4 goals in the span of 1 minute, they very likely to drop to 1-13-0 on the season. They have not won a match since May, early this season. One more chance on the attack. Facineri breaking it up. Picked up by Carrero in the net. Windsor City FC, meanwhile, they've been very successful at home. It's their 5th win of the season, majority of which have now come from Acumen Stadium. Worked back forward from the midfield. Up to Matthew Mills. Possibly one of the final shots of the match here, if not the final chance. Up the field, the dive and the tackle. And time goes off. 3 minutes of added time signaled for. After a little stutter step, Facineri trying to push ahead, whiffled, passed off of Denver Mills. Pabon now moving forward. Facineri is down in added time. And now a kick over top Facineri. Stevanovic puts up a shot, misses the woodwork off the side of it again, and now the officials call for a stoppage. Facineri was down for that whole busy sequence because of, looks like a poke from that. And then at least 3 shots went off as the ball was shot over top of him. Here's a look at how that all really squared off after the tackle at the other side. So Facineri is back up. We're back rolling. Again, we're playing to the 93rd minute. Now taken away on the pass. The shot, Carrero knocks it onto the top of the woodwork and on top of the meshing. What a recovery, Carrero off the hip. Nicagora not able to get it over. Corner kick coming for Waterloo to close up the match here. Looking, and that one sails right past Carrero, no touch. No, they do say corner on the other side now. So it looks like this final minute or so will be taken by going back and forth for the corner. Matthew Mills this time, the option. On the other side, it's headed away. Battle for it, Sato. Sees it get to Antoniuk. And now floated back to Waterloo's side of the pitch. About 40 minutes to work with in this match. Up on the attack, Stevanovic still wants one. Still doesn't get it. Stevanovic still looking for his first goal since May. And it's kicked around, it doesn't matter. Windsor City FC picks up their 5th win of the year. 6-2, the final. Flames Chicken, man of the match, coming up. You're watching We Did It All from Acumen Stadium.
For every big breath, for every little breath. And for every breath in between, Ontario Power Generation is committed to keeping Ontario's air clean. That's why the power we generate is 99% free of smog and carbon emissions. Because clean air matters to us all.
Hi, I'm Jeff from Monson Time Express. The world is in an unprecedented battle these days. We all have to come together to beat this horrible virus. Monson Time Express encourages everyone to stay safe and listen to the experts leading us through these challenging times. A new normal is going to have to be considered in our everyday lives. The team at Monson Time Express understands that you and your loved ones are still trying to go forward each and every day. Monson Time Express is here to help and remains open to take care of all of your delivery needs. With a fleet of 50 vehicles, including cargo vans and sprinter vans, along with 24-foot straight trucks, it doesn't matter if your freight is big or small. Monson Time Express can guarantee the safe and prompt delivery service throughout Canada and the United States. Monson Time Express is open 24 hours a day, 364 days of the year. To get your delivery moving, contact Monson Time Express at www.monsontime.ca or call toll-free at 877-250-8282. From the Monson Time Express family to yours, stay safe and stay healthy.
When it comes to vaping, the truth can get clouded.
So let's make it clear. Vaping is not safe for youth.
Because vaping can put microscopic particles into your lungs.
And dangerous things like metals.
Welcome back, everyone, to Windsor, Ontario, as it's time for the Flames Fried Chicken Windsor City FC Man of the Match. No surprise, it's Owen Antoniuk. 4 goals in the span of about 55 minutes. Really propelled things for Windsor City FC. The team's leading scorer entering the day, nearly doubling season total for 2023. But with that, it's just about time to say goodbye. We'd like to thank you for tuning in for today's action from Windsor, Ontario. Once again, your final score line here on We Digital, 6-2 Windsor City FC, beating Borussia Dortmund and its International Academy from Waterloo. We'll see you next time as Windsor takes on North Toronto.
Until then, we wish you a great week. Be safe going home, and thanks again for joining